which is, I guess, some kind of an accomplishment. And if it works to take a plane, make the enjoyment of the plane even more, allow it to fly at a more competitive level, well, then we've accomplished something. And the nice thing about it is, if it doesn't work out for you for whatever reason, you can always go put the heavy tank back in. And like the carbon fiber gear, many people have taken a carbon fiber gear and said, wow, this dramatically changed the whole way the plane flew. They were happy. The people that it hasn't made a big improvement for, well, you know, you can use it on another plane. There's certainly going to be a plane that nobody's going to build planes for their whole life that you don't build a nose heavy one. Everybody seems to build one sooner or later that's nose heavy. And boy, it made such a big change in the Typhoon that hard to describe. Anyway, now what I need to do, this is such a tight fit, sometimes it's hard to get it on. And now that's ready to just set aside to dry. Well, today everything is dry. There's only one operation left to do on all these. And as you can see, we've been pretty busy making up tanks, making up different. We also can make, this is a one for a special tune pipe for, this will be going to Don Dixon because he's going to be putting this in a Jet 60 plane where the header might be interference. We can do that, of course. We've made up some little ones for Bob Zambelli for his Sato 30s. Again, we'll be testing more of these later. And of course, the ones that we're going to be taking to England, we're going to take some to England. There's only one operation left to do on these, and it's something that a lot of people, whether even if you have a metal tank, let me get a clean piece of paper. You want to deburr, and I always do this before the tanks go into their final cleanup. Get that razor edge off. And before these are done, they actually the only step left is to put them in the oven. 212 degrees, 2 hours. That's the recommended post-cure regime. In fact, I ought to put the equivalent of some threads on these. And we'll take these over to the sink, do the cleanup on them. We do the cleanup with some 1200 sandpaper just to leave a nice finish on them. Weight them, they're typically, whatever this size tank would be in metal, a minimum, I've never made one yet that's not less than an ounce lighter than its metal equivalent. And that opens up the door to a lot of trim possibilities, a lot of things in the future that may or may not come out of this program. We don't know. So far, we know an awful lot of people are using carbon fiber gear, Howard Rush's little invention, and we've kind of replicated his work. We've replicated Wayne's work. We're doing our own work on this carbon fiber wing project. We already have a model that Woody Midgley's been flying for a year, and we're going to be, that'll be one of the next things we do, hopefully in the next season, is get a carbon fiber wing on Miss Ashley. And it's one of the things I'm certainly looking forward to in the future. I enjoy molding. I'm always willing and happy to share what I know. So is pretty much everybody I've come into, especially Wayne Triven and Ed Gallagher, the people that enjoy molding and developing these products. But anyway, we'll polish this up, and these are ready to go off to the customer. It may seem like polishing a tank is a little bit of overkill. Well, it really isn't, because a lot of times, if a tank is going to crack, or if a part is going to crack, it has to find a razor edge. And this is why they polish connecting rods in race cars and things like that. Polishing a part, getting rid of anything that's like a razor edge, because a crack has to start at a razor edge. So I know some people are going to put this in a plane and then jam a shim and hammer it in with a hammer. So I try to get it as bulletproof as possible. So far nobody's been able to figure out how to break one, but I'm sure that's going to change in the future. People find ways of breaking things or hurting things that, well, that's just the way it is. Now what I found out is the 1200 paper leaves a nice smooth finish, no razor edges. And then what I do is usually seal these in a plastic bag so that no dust can get in after the post-cure. These are relatively hard after the post-cure. You can actually feel a difference in the resin. It gets more glass-like, much harder. And again, I believe Wayne was post-curing his at a different temperature, but I've tried doing it at 212, which was recommended by Shell Oil. And so far, so good. I'll have to talk to Wayne the next time and see if he's experienced any problems. I don't think he has, because the tanks on his twin were, and that's where this whole project started. They were absolutely perfect. The motors ran, and boy, that plane flew well. And that's part, to be honest with you, that's part of the reason I've been thinking about this B-25. I was thinking about Wayne Triven's Hankel and thinking, gee, it's a profile now, but if I could just do that with a built-up or a molded body and get that level of performance, it might even be that you could compete at the top 5 in the Nats. I don't. You know, not many people thought I'd be able to run that 91 and get to the top 5. Well, they were wrong. But anyway, I think it was competitive. And I think in years to come, you're going to see more 4-strokes, you're going to see more Zetrons, you're going to see more carbon wings, you're going to see... There was a time when we had no carbon fiber props. Go to a Nats now and see how many people are running carbon fiber. No carbon fiber tuned pipes. 99% of the planes are using some carbon fiber technology, and I've always tried to, you know, to expand that knowledge that's available and share it. And I've had a lot of success along the way doing it. And that has been, you've witnessed the making of, just got to dry it off, of course. And unlike a metal tank, you don't have to leave oil in it. It'll never rust, it'll never corrode. And hopefully you'll never crash and break it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. We have a couple minutes left on the tape, and I just wanted to put some of my trim impressions that may help you maximize using these tanks in the future. Now the next step in our carbon fiber tank development, and it'll probably be over the winter, we have some vinyl ester resin, which may or may not be an appropriate substitute. We haven't even opened the box yet the days that we're making this test, but that's one thing we certainly will be testing in the near future. The thing that we do in the shop is ongoing development. That means we use the products that we try to introduce to the hobby, see how they work, try to improve them constantly, and get feedback from people already using them. Now, this plane has had a carbon tank in it for a while. We've used this at the team trials, even though we were not flying well due to other unrelated problems. But the tanks so far have worked well. And if they don't, what we need is your feedback, so we can improve them, we can change them, we can update them. And it's only by doing that that we're going to make available to everybody the best possible products. One of the things I do every year is try to take the products that I make and use, and the designs that I've kind of improvised, and use them in national competition just to see how they fare against the best in the world. And so far I think our success record is as good as we could have ever expected, given the fact that my talent is certainly limited, my energy is getting less limited every day. But I really do enjoy developing these things, and I really do enjoy sharing that knowledge and that information. And I think we've made over the years and sold more videos that, well, we've sold a lot of them, and we've given a lot away, and I think that's a good legacy. Best video. If you're not enjoying watching it, and if you don't have a few laughs along the way, even the best video, well, I don't know. And they say my video is for the birds, and sometimes I think they're right. Shush. Shush, carbon fiber bird. I've been lucky enough in my lifetime to have been able to start and keep this business going now. It's going on 15 years. And I really do think there's nothing I could have done with my life that would have been more fun or allowed me to have more really good quality.